Hi, my name is Ariane Clarice.
Nadine. Just Nadine is my Instagram handle.
I'm D-Lady Ray.
And I have 10,900 followers.
And I have 5,000 followers. And I am an influencer.
Social media stars the faces of an absolute advertising revolution. Making money off of platforms such as Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, and Facebook. Are they being honest, or are they promoting products for the wrong reasons?
A couple times I hyped up the brand a bit more than it is.
Welcome to Influencers World. Advertising has almost stayed the exact same for about 40 years. This was until social media and the internet came and turned it all the way around. When was the last time you bought something because of a TV ad or a newspaper ad? In this new day and age, brands have found a way to directly gain sales through social media. Brands used to use humour and lots of creativity to create these ads. But how exactly has marketing changed?
I think marketing started to change with regard to influencers about 5 years ago. There was a sea change in how people use social media. They were gathering a large number of followers. Probably this wasn't on Twitter, this was more like YouTube and Instagram. And they started to make money from it. And at that point, you saw a significant change in how people approached it as an income, as a business.
Meet Ariane Clarice, a UK influencer. She shot to fame after posting a YouTube video of herself braiding hair. That video racked up almost 1 million views. And now, she has over 100,000 followers on Instagram and works with loads of brands. We spoke to Ariane Clarice on her life as an influencer.
I think brands work with me because my content is, I guess, good. And also it's a platform for them for marketing and to, I guess, increase traffic to their website or their social medias as well.
Influencers are like you and me, just normal people. However, they choose to constantly post things online within a niche of their own, and somehow have gained a large following. Now, advertising are spending thousands on platforms such as Instagram and YouTube on these things called influencers. But what exactly are they?
You know, if you look at kind of what we consider an influencer today, it's someone who, and I know a lot of influencers themselves really don't like that term, much prefer to be called online content creators, something like that. So online content creators who are able to get brands to pay them money essentially to create content online, let's just put it that way. They, I would argue, had a massive boom around 2011, 2012. That's particularly true of YouTube because we're looking at kind of pre-Instagram. I would say that the main platforms for influencers now are Instagram and YouTube. But before Instagram there was YouTube, and YouTubers had a huge moment just before sort of 2013, which was when I think it really blew up, and particularly in the UK with the likes of kind of Zoella and that whole crew of influencers that just became huge overnight around 2012, right? And are now largely irrelevant, most of them. But they were enormous. It's hard to kind of overstate how they were like all over the internet. And then I'd say that around 2013, 14, 15 was when suddenly people were interested in this phenomenon, and you started to see articles like, who's Zoella? Like, who are these people in their bedroom? Why are there these people who play video games who make loads of money from it? No one could really wrap their heads around it.
People are smart enough to know that brands, they want to generate money. Their aim is to generate revenue, generate traffic, whatever their aim is. They know that there's like a business sort of aim behind it. So I think if they're gonna, but they're also, I think they're willing to accept that. Like, it's fine. When I shop, I go into Topshop right now and I buy something, I know that I'm contributing to their profits. Like, I actually know that, and that's fine. So I think if I'm gonna be fed some sort of marketing, I'd rather it be fed to me in a way that's more
Personal.
Yeah, more personal. You know what I mean? Like someone, if you're tapping into an influencer that I already follow, I already trust, like I have a connection on a level, then that makes it easier for me. That makes the whole like transaction process easier for me. The transaction process will probably happen anyway, but it just makes it seem like the company gets me, the company's a bit more in line with me. If they're using people that I relate to, then I think that the company will relate to me too. I think it's that, like it's unspoken about, but I think it's that.
Brands have found a way to directly sell to their consumers through social media. Consumers are spending more time on social media and respond better to those they see from their peers. Buyers of today look to each other for recommendations rather than directly to companies.
One of the biggest trends in digital marketing is a movement away from traditional marketing, from billboards and printed ads and purchasing inventory with humans interacting with each other. And as soon as the social media platforms allowed for programmatic ad purchasing, so where you tell a computer who you want to reach, the computer places the ads in front of those people, typically using cookies to work out who those users are. You are making massive purchases, you're running a large campaigns very quickly and scaling them quite easily. But social media platforms are very smart in making sure that their platforms could engage with advertising sales.
Currently, we're in a social media revolution. Social media has paved the way for individuals to access different things online. First, in the early 2000s, we had access to blogging, MySpace, and WordPress. And this was the introduction to these networks. Then, in 2005, was the introduction to YouTube. Videos could be posted and shared between friends and family. Then was the introduction to Facebook and Twitter in 2006. Facebook bought Twitter, and Snapchat was also launched. Social media has changed tremendously over the last 15 years. And somehow, influencers have been able to make money out of this. Influencer marketing is currently an $8.5 billion industry and is said to be $10 billion by the end of the year. Influencers are realizing that it's an effective way to market to millennials, but should we trust them?
A couple times I hyped up the brand a bit more than it is, just because it's free.
I have done it before once. I've not done it ever since because I felt like it's gonna tarnish my reputation if the people that trust my opinion purchase it and it's not what they expected it to be. So I've just not done that since. To an extent you should, but you should also not just trust one influencer's opinion. You should also do your own research on the product as well, because there's certain ingredients in certain products that can claim, for example, to be vegan, and there's certain ingredients that aren't necessarily vegan, and if you're vegan yourself, that might be a huge deal. So to summarize, you can trust influencers, but also do your own research.
In the past, influencer marketing has had a bad reputation for being unethical and immoral. The process of making policies to make influencer marketing more transparent has already begun. In the future, influencer marketing will focus more on keeping the trust of consumers high.
Future of influencers and bloggers, I feel like we're already seeing a change. It will become more direct to people in terms of ads via an influencer. However, I feel like with that will come also risks and potential issues, which I don't really know what that will look like yet, but I feel like the future will then involve some sort of governing body coming in to oversee it. I know that we get a lot of kind of guidance from the ASA and stuff like that, but I feel like there'll be something a little bit more rigid that will give clear instruction, like this is what an ad is, this is what it should have, because you still see a lot of the larger influencers not adhering to basic things like announcing when things are gifted and when they're kind of sponsored and the differences and what that looks like.
Influencers are here to stay, but how the world of influencer marketing looks and works has changed drastically. Influencers are their own producer, director, editor, lighting, admin, and the list goes on. So if you see a sponsored post, if anything, like the post, use the affiliate link, use their promo code, because by the looks of it, they're not going anywhere.